So when you're doing a natural edge bowl and you're cutting the blank on the circle cutting jig, you're only going to have your center on one side. On the other side, you will not have it. So what I figured out to do is put this onto my screw chuck, then bring up my tailstock from the other side and mark center that way. Now I'm just going to be using a 4-spur drive, and I like to pound it in with a mallet first so it gets a better bite. And now this whole assembly can go onto the lathe. Now that I have it mounted on the lathe, I'm going to go ahead and start shaping the outside of this with my 1/2-inch bowl gouge. I'm going to be using a combination of pull and push cuts to first flatten off this face, and then start bringing the curve around a little bit, and then shape the tenon. Well, if you can hear that in the background, it has started raining. But anyways, what I want to talk about is, if you can see, this little crack here has started to develop over my turning time. So I'm just going to take some thin CA, just roll it right on in there to stabilize that while I finish turning this. While I have the thin CA out, I'm going to go ahead and stabilize the bark line here so that it doesn't crack off from the wood. Now I can go ahead and shape up the tenon. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I have a nice shape. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to take it out of the spur drive, knock that out, and I can screw on my chuck. I put my chuck key in and I lock the spindle to really tighten this up. And now we can go ahead and put the bowl into the chuck. So we can go ahead and take this out of the chuck now that it's all finished rough turning. And I have a wax emulsion end grain sealer here. And all I do is just brush it straight to the end grain. So let's talk drying wood for a second, because this is a big topic amongst bowl turners and woodworkers. Now, I've been using my bowl turning methods for almost 2 years now, and I have a very high success rate with them. But yeah, if you have a method that's different than mine and it's working for you, don't try to change it because of what I'm saying. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I will talk to you guys a little bit about what I do. Now, notice how I brush end grain sealer on the 2 end grains and also on the inside end grains, because that is also end grain there too that'll crack. I recently received a comment from one of my viewers, and he said that he only brushes end grain sealer on the outside because he finds that the inside doesn't need it. Again, if that's working for you, don't change it. Don't change it because of what I'm saying. But it doesn't make sense to me, because you seal both ends of a board, and we can view the wall of a bowl as just a really short board. I have other people saying that they'll seal the whole entire bowl in sealer. I suppose you could do that, and there's no problem with it. I just dip it in your gallon of sealer if you want to. I don't care, but it will dry really slow, and it'll take forever for all the moisture to leave. That's why I leave all the side grain open. Another thing people will do is they'll pack their rough turn bowl inside a paper bag with or without shavings. What this will do is keep the moisture in for a longer period of time and make it dry out a lot slower, which will lead it to not warp and to dry more evenly without cracking. This is a very good way to go, but I find that with all those paper bags full of shavings, it's really difficult to store all of them without taking up a lot of space. And I really like just storing them in bowl form a heck of a lot better. So what I'll do is I'll just take this, set it on the shelf, and let the air just get to it for a little while, and that works just as well. Now it's starting to rain even harder, and I feel like the audio is getting a little horrible, so I'm going to cut this video off here, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, you should know that I post a video every single Friday. If you don't know about my second channel, Peter Matthew 2, I'll put a box right here for you to click and it will pull you over to my most recent video on that channel. While you're there, subscribe. Tune back in next week for a new video on this channel, and I will see you all then. Take it easy.